Hey everybody, and welcome to today's video here on the Yoga by Candace YouTube channel. I'm here in Tennessee. I'm leading our 4th yoga teacher training program with Namaste YTT. So that's why the setup is a little differently, but I'm really excited to introduce you to this brand. It's called a Half Moon, and they have generously supplied me with 3 bolsters. So this practice that we're going to do is a gentle / restorative practice, meaning that in restorative, we hold poses for a little bit longer, about 3 to 5 minutes. And in gentle, we are moving slightly and holding poses for, it's just not as long as restorative. So if you have 3 bolsters, awesome. If you have just 1 bolster, that's fine too. I prefer rectangular bolsters like we have here because you have so many options with them. You can lower them to this height, you can rise it up to this height, or you can lift it even more to this height depending on what you need in the practice. So I'll be using all 3 of these bolsters, but if you don't happen to have bolsters at home or you just have 1, use what you have and then get creative and look around your house, see if you have maybe a couch cushion or something, or you can check out Half Moon by going to shophalfmoon.com and purchasing some bolsters for your yoga practice. So when you're ready, find a seat on your mat, grab your props, and we'll get started. To begin, you'll take your bolster and just slide it underneath your body, and you can straddle the bolster if that feels okay for your knees. If that doesn't, just find a comfortable seat, maybe with the feet out in front of you, and sit on the edge of your bolster. Just sit in a way that works best for you. If you have tight hips or quads, you might want to play around with the height of the bolster. Maybe sitting like this feels more comfortable. So this style of yoga is really finding what works best for you and arranging your prop in that way. So coming into this comfortable seat, roll the shoulders back and cup your hands and touch your thumbs, and go ahead and close your eyes. Then tilt your chin in so you feel like it is parallel with the ground, and gently retract your shoulder blades so that you have nice broad collarbones. Begin to breathe in and out through your nose. Just grounding yourself and allowing whatever happened earlier to dissolve. Whatever's going to happen later, no worries about that now, just arriving into the present moment. As you begin to connect with your breath, bring awareness to the base of your spine and follow it all the way up through the crown of the head as you inhale. And as you exhale, allow the shoulder blades to melt down your back, broadening ever so slightly more through the chest. Maintaining the length in your spine, perhaps even growing taller with each inhale. Yet grounding and connecting and broadening through the chest with each exhale. As you inhale, gently flutter the eyes open and lift your right arm up overhead. Take the fingertips to the opposite side of the head and gently draw the ear towards the shoulder, finding a nice stretch in the neck. And breathing fully and deeply, imagining that with each breath you are allowed space through the neck and able to work through any tension you're experiencing. As you're here, gently tone your low belly so that you have some support through the lumbar spine. As you inhale, gently rise back up to center, and then we'll lift the other arm up overhead, taking the fingertips to the opposite side of the head and gently drawing the ear towards the shoulder, finding length through the side of the neck on the other side. Gently tuck your lower ribs in and tone your belly so that your low back is supported. And even though you're not working a whole lot here physically, see if you can breathe full deep breaths. From here, gently release. If you have another bolster, go ahead and grab it and stack it like this so you have some height. And you can bring your forearms on top of it and rest your head. From the side, that's going to look like this. If you don't have another bolster, no worries. I'll show you what you can do. So you'll rest like this. Alternatively, if you just have one bolster, you can come to sit in easy pose, which is just in a comfortable seat like this, and stack the one bolster you do have out in front of you and rest. So as you come to rest, see if you can relax through your shoulders. Allowing the back to round a bit. No effort here, just allowing gravity to pull you down towards the ground. Full deep breaths, and if any thoughts come to you, see if you can just allow them to float by like clouds in the sky. No energy, no worries, no attention paid to them. As you inhale, rise up. And keeping this stacked position, find your way on your shins. And by stacked position, I mean this tall position. And you'll take your arm long and place your arm on top of your bolster. Take your foot, your left foot, off the mat, toes pointed forward. And you can come onto your forearm here and extend your left arm up overhead, trying to get long. Trying to avoid collapsing through your right side body. Trying to find length through both side body. From here, gently release, and we'll slide the bolster on over to the other side. Bringing the forearm down to rest, and inhaling the right arm up overhead, finding length here. This is going to be a little more intense on this side. You may even feel this through the hip flexor, through the low back even. Just try to keep length through both side bodies and breathe fully. As you inhale, find your way back to center. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So extend your right leg, toes pointed out in front of you. Take your bolster out to your left so that your arm is long. And then go ahead and lean over, rest the forearm onto the top of the bolster, and lift to extend the right arm up overhead, finding length through the side bodies. See if you can gently retract your right shoulder blade down your back. Really integrate the arm into your torso. And then as you inhale, find your way back to center. And we'll move the bolster on over to the other side. Bringing the right forearm down onto the bolster. Inhale to lift your left arm up overhead. Then begin to take it over to your right. Breathing into your left side body. Gently retract your left shoulder into your arm, into your torso. And try to avoid collapsing into your right side body. As you inhale, find your way back to center and come back to be on your shins. From here, we're going to take one bolster out like this, stack the other bolster at this diagonal. Now, if you don't have two bolsters, what you could use is a block or two, and you can stack them up here and then rest the bolster over top of it so it's at this angle. If you have a third bolster, you can place it here. It's going to go under your knees, or you could wrap a towel or a blanket, roll it up, and then place it here for a little knee support. So we're coming to recline into this position. This is another reason I love those rectangular bolsters, because you can position it to really fit your body well. Some people may want to have it on its lowest height. And then begin to lean back. And then as you're here, we're going to open up the chest a bit. So externally rotate your shoulders, bringing the palms to face up, allowing the shoulders to melt away from you towards the ground. Your gaze should be up about 45, and the head and the whole spine will be on the bolster. And as you're here, you want to continue to breathe fully and deeply. Don't just go into chest breathing, that shallow breath. We want to encourage relaxation and openness through the chest. So invite some deep inhales and exhales. And you can also close your eyes if that feels nice and relaxing to you, or leave them open with a soft gaze. As you're here and you begin to breathe, just notice what it does to your belly. Does your belly expand as you inhale? Do your ribs expand as you inhale? Does your chest slightly lift at the very top of that inhale? As you exhale, does your chest slowly lower? And then do your ribs go back to their neutral position? And does your belly button draw in towards your spine at the very bottom of that exhale? See if you can invite all of those movements into each breath. We'll breathe for 3 deep breaths here. From here, turn your palms to face down and begin to press into the mat to lift yourself up. And we'll keep the legs right where they are, or rather the bolster right where it is, or whatever prop you have underneath you. And begin to widen your feet so that they are about mat distance. And bring the forearms to the inside of the legs and begin to round your back as you fold forward. Just let your upper body hang heavy. You should probably be feeling this through the inner thighs. And if you don't, it might just be because your hips are open. So if you know that you have open hips and you're not feeling anything, no worries, you're still getting a benefit. Or you could remove the bolster and just come into the same position. But otherwise, just let your whole upper body be heavy, arms heavy, head heavy. And with each exhale, allowing gravity to pull you deeper. And as you inhale, begin to rise up, and we will remove the bolster from underneath our knees and just set that particular one off to the side. From here, we're going to continue opening up through the hips a bit. So if you have blocks, you can use those. If you have 2 bolsters, you can bring them in like this. Alternatively, you could use 2 rolled towels or 2 rolled blankets as well. Now come into this cobbler pose position, Baddha Konasana. So bring the bottoms of the feet to touch and allow the knees to rest on your bolsters, allowing some openness through the inner thighs. You may find that you're so open that you don't need bolsters at all. You may find that at this height, it's too much of a strain through the inner thighs, so you can just go up in height, whether you have blocks or bolsters. So find what feels really good for you. And then inhale to lengthen up through your spine. Gently retract your shoulder blades towards one another for a broad chest and begin to melt forward. And your aim here, like if you were to incorporate a dristi, would be out in front of you on the ground, about 3 feet out in front of you, not straight down, because then your back will round and it'll become a back stretch, which would be fine if we wanted to stretch the back, but we're looking to stretch the inner thighs. So with each inhale, lengthen up through your spine. With each exhale, allow yourself to melt forward. And as you breathe here, just scan your body and ask yourself, where can I let go a little bit more? Where can I invite gravity to take over? As you inhale, begin to lengthen through the spine. Bring the hands underneath the knees and gently press them together. Go ahead and wrap your arms around your shins. Tuck your head. Round through the upper back and breathe deeply. As you inhale, rise up to sit tall. And we will just put this bolster out to the side and this bolster as well. We'll just use one for now. We're going to come to lie down on our backs. And you'll lift, press into your feet to lift your hips and slide the bolster underneath the hips for a supported bridge pose. So you can choose to have it this way, or you can choose to flip it so it's a little higher. Whatever feels best for you is what you should do. Feet can be hip distance. Feet could be extended long like this. Some people find that really comfortable. Feet could be a little wider than hip distance, and you let your knees kind of cave in and rest on one another. Find what feels best to you and go ahead and do that. Hands can be on your belly. You can close your eyes here and incorporate that deep breathing once again if you've lost it. Finding expansion through the ribs as you inhale. Noticing a contraction through the belly as you exhale. As you inhale, begin to bend your knees, placing the feet on the mat, and then press into your feet to lift your hips and slide the bolster out from underneath you. Taking it out to your right, what you'll do now is flip over onto your belly and push the bolster down so that when you take your left leg out to the left, the bolster supports both the knee and the ankle. We don't want the ankle to hang off because that's not going to feel great for the knee joint. From here, you have a couple options. You can stack your forearms, rest your head on your forearms. You can bring your arms by your side, turn your cheek, and rest your temple on the mat. To come into this variation of downward facing rest and be here for a few breaths. So as you begin to breathe, see if you can breathe so deeply that you can breathe into the upper back. And just breathing fully and deeply here. And perhaps scanning your body. Are you holding any tension through the shoulders? Can you allow your hips to be heavier? Can you feel your leg fully supported by the bolster? And as you inhale, gently press your left heel to the back of the mat to extend your leg. And then as you inhale, rise up. We'll take the bolster out over to the other side. And again, slide it down so that it supports both your knee and your ankle. We don't want the ankle hanging off the bolster. If you've turned your head, turn it the other way so that you don't crank your neck. And breathe here. See if you can let go through your shoulders, through your hips. Noticing that does this hip feel more open or perhaps a little more restricted than the last one? Not making any judgments, just being an observer of your body. Allowing heaviness, effortlessness, and ease. As you're ready, extend your right leg out behind you and bring your hands underneath your shoulders and press yourself up And come into a comfortable seated position. Option to sit on your bolster to finish. Bringing one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly, close your eyes. Just take a moment to acknowledge your practice and your dedication to your practice and your health. Noticing how you feel now compared to how you felt at the beginning of your practice. And then as you're ready, bringing your hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra, bowing your chin towards your chest, honoring yourself and your practice, and sealing it in. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below in the comment section and I'll do my best to answer. And don't forget to check out shophalfmoon.com.